Hello, everybody. I'm a tad late. Didn't even realize it was that close to time. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Today is Tuesday, August the 6th, 2024. So welcome to the Mikestand. We're gonna give people a chance to come in here real quick while we're waiting. Just as a friendly reminder, of course, if you guys can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and/or ask questions. We'll try to answer the question to the best of our ability. So, with all that being said, I'll just give people a few minutes here. Let's see. Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. Find adventure that's beyond compare. They are the gummy bears. They are the gummy bears. Overtures, cut the lights. Well, we have a third person now. I guess I can talk a bit about what's on tap for tonight then, now that we have a third person in here. So tonight, got a couple articles we're going to go over from Bounding into Comments. First up, we're going to talk a little bit about Colin Kaepernick. Now, I know everybody's going to ask me, well, why are we talking about Colin Kaepernick? What does Colin Kaepernick have to do with anime, cartoons, comics, manga, or pro wrestling? Well, you'll find out. Just stay tuned, and you'll find out soon enough. I'll explain that. That'll be the first article. Also, there was a big human trafficking sting down at San Diego Comic Con last week that we'll also be taking a look at. So let's see. So now that we have in fact gone over all that. Hey, good night, Spoon. Let's see. Let us discuss your grievances with Elk. Can we do that without finger pointing? No, we can't. Because we're not. Again, this is a drama-free channel. I'm not going to allow drama on here. You know, I'm not going to sit here and like bury him or anything like that. You know. So, anyways, with that being answered and said, let's get okay. Anyway to mend fence. Again, I'm not going to feed into any drama here. Okay? I'm not going to feed into any drama. That's why I'm choosing not to basically, it's Comic-Con news broke my brain. We'll get to that in a moment. We're gonna get to the Colin Kaepernick story first, because I know people would be curious to find out. Well, you're gonna find out. It's gonna be kind of an interesting article. That's why I picked it for tonight. So, anyways, let me go ahead and grab that, as it were. Alrighty then. So let's see now. So you see down here. All right. Former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick launching new AI comic book generator, Lumi, in little parentheses here, says goal is to quote to democratize storytelling. Really? I wonder if that's just another coding for to be able to put our woke comics out to try to shove down everybody's throat. I wonder if that's really what it is. Hey Rick. And Rick, if you're seeing some of the comments that Goodnight Spoon put up, he was suggesting that I air my grievances about Elk, and I told him that I wasn't going to feed into the drama. So just so you know. But anyways, moving on from that, just letting Rick know what's going on here. And as a reminder, guys, of course, if you haven't already, you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream and seeing if we can get some more friendly people to engage in here. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to anyways. All right. Anyways, if anything here that we talk about tonight grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. And we will and I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So with that being said, let's get going here. So talk about the Colin Kaepernick launching a new AI comic book generator here, Lumi. All right, so of course, I guess on the left there is a real world picture of Colin Kaepernick. I guess on the right is supposed to be his comic version, as it were. Let's see what he has. Let's see what they're saying. By the way, let's see. Article, by the way, was by Spencer McCullian. It was published back on August 2nd, which was, of course, this past Friday. So let's see what these guys have to say here. So further adding to his reputation as a completely insufferable individual, former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick is getting into the business of producing AI-generated comic books. So, all right. Mm-hmm. Maybe I do, but I don't. But I'm not going to care to. Again, I'm not going to feed into the drama here, Elk. So. Having failed to secure a spot with the Las Vegas Raiders following his 2022 workout for the team, Kaepernick spent at least part of the last 2 years developing Lumi, described by the activist athlete in its announcement press release as a groundbreaking platform that empowers creators by providing them with the tools needed to independently create, publish, and merchandise their stories both digitally and physically. Let's see. And a groundbreaking platform that empowers creators by providing them with the tools needed to independently create, publish, and merchandise their stories both digitally and physically. Unquote. Quote, Lumi's mission, Lumi's mission is to democratize storytelling by providing tools for creators to turn their ideas into finished products, as well as distributing and merchandising those stories, transforming any creator into Disney, explained the company. Basically, I think it's kind of a dance around of basically saying we're going to produce woke content and we're going to do it on our own platform. I think that's basically what he's saying here. Hmm. All right, sorry about that. I left for a moment to try to fix something here, but apparently something's gone a little goofy here with this thing. But anyways, I'll do this. That's not. That's not what I wanted either. Blasted. Hold on. Sorry about that, again. I'm trying to fix something here that I inadvertently did, but I can't seem to figure out exactly how to get it to. There we go. At least get it back to that. But anyways. All right. So anyways, I'm gonna pull the. I guess I'll just have to deal with it for now. Um, let's continue on with the article here. There's nothing I can. There's nothing I can really. All right. So let me just see. I was going to suggest a poll, Mike, to run asking people, should Rick stream at normal human hours? I think it hits different if you did it. Well, I mean, if you're gonna ask to do a poll on what Rick does with his channel, that would be more appropriate for his channel, not mine. Okay. I basically thought when you were making the poll suggestion, I thought you were suggesting that maybe I run a poll about elk. I basically made it clear I'm not going to sit here and turn this channel into a drama channel. Okay. Yo, just to nip this whole thing in the butt once and for all, there are certain ways, certain behaviors that I expect people to abide by, and being respectful is one of those behaviors. Okay. If I feel that you are not being disrespectful, or if I feel that you are not being respectful, sorry, I know I did a double negative there, then we're going to have an issue there. But I didn't want to sit here and have to talk about it, because I think I talked enough about it the other night. But apparently I thought you got the idea there, Goodnight Spoon, but I guess you didn't. Anyway, let's. And pull in the. Yeah, I was just trying to, because somehow, I don't know how sometimes this happens, but somehow my screen kind of, something happened with my screen and it's not the way it usually is now. So, and I was trying to figure out how to get it back. What, 10 p.m. to midnight isn't normal human hours? It is on a Friday, maybe a Saturday if you are in your 20s and unemployed. Well, I am not a normal human. I'm not about democratization of personal expression, Mike. You do you. But you want normal humans with money to buy your comics. They get up at 5 a.m., so they will not encounter your channel at 10 p.m. All right. So, anyways, let's get back to the article here. Boy. All right. So, quote: by leveraging advanced AI tools, Lumi enhances the creative process, allowing creators to focus on bringing their stories to life, while the platform handles all the logistics. Creators have had a significant impact on AI, and they should be a primary beneficiary of its use. Now, of course, some of the stories I've been hearing of late is certain people in the localization industry having issue with Japanese companies going the AI route because people are tired of the Western localizers inputting their own narratives into stuff. But quote: by leveraging advanced AI tools, Lumi enhances the creative process, allowing creators to focus on bringing their stories to life, while platform handles all the logistics. Unquote. It continued. Quote, creators have had a significant impact on AI, and they should be a primary beneficiary of its use. Creators today face significant challenges, including exploitation and lack of independence. Lumi addresses these issues by providing an end-to-end solution to storytelling, leading to more financial stability, creative control, and ownership of their work. Additionally, as AI continues to evolve, it is essential to ensure that the resulting content reflects diverse and authentic perspectives, by empowering creators to authentically um, create their stories. Lumi helps ensure a more equitable future for AI. Unquote. So I think what they're saying here is that they're trying to give, instead of having to go to the major two and push their woke content, what they're trying to do here is give people an outlet to let's see here. How do I get? Oh, is that what? All right. Well, now we've seen that part. But how did... All right. So, all right. So let me try this one more time then. All right. So, anyways, see what you guys are saying here. These not the ones in Eastern time zone. Maybe he will see what it's like on my channel tonight. I wonder what he meant by that. Who meant by what. Yeah. Anyways, all right. So, according to the press release, Lumi was conceived in response to the quote the barriers that he discovered publishing his own works, unquote, such as his children's book, I Color Myself Different, and his autobiographical graphic novel, Change the Game, unquote, which apparently included, quote, high production costs, long production timelines, and gatekeeping within the industry. Quote, these challenges generate significant friction for creators preventing many projects from getting off the ground, unquote, said the company. Quote, by decreasing the barrier to entry, Lumi opens the funnel of creativity to the world, enabling a new wave of diverse and innovative stories to come to life. Well, essentially, what he's talking about there is basically what Comicsgate's already been doing. Comicsgate's already kind of been doing that for a while now. So, anyways, continuing on here. On here. Oh. All right. Offering a direct explanation of his own, Kaepernick then personally asserted, quote, Lumi addresses an unnecessary dependency on gatekeepers that allows creators down his allows creators to get back to what they ultimately want to do, create, unquote. All right. So quote, the platform empowers creators to work freely and independently, deciding when and how they want to collaborate with others, unquote. He added, this this independent quote this independence is crucial for fostering a vibrant and diverse creative ecosystem. So basically, what he's trying to apparently do, I think he's trying to basically do for, I guess, the woke crowd, as it were, what Commonsgate did for the conservative crowd. Give them something other than the mainstream to. Give creators more of a option to. Anyways, what's your favorite John Travolta movie? All right. So, anyways, continue on here. I'm sorry if I seem a little distracted. Again, my screen kind of went a little goofy there, and that's what I'm trying to see if it's just something more on my end. So, anyways, as always, guys, if you guys can like and share this, and see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So, anyways, getting back to the article here. In service of its ongoing development, on July 24th, which is probably a little under a couple weeks ago, I guess. The company announced via the aforementioned press release that the company has raised $4 million in venture capital funding with a seed round led by 776 alongside Kapoor Capital and Impellant Ventures, and notable angel investors like Marianne Nafisi, founder of Minted, David Size, Char Millionaire, and tech execs from Meta, Anthropic, Contextual AI, Sleeper, Pave, and more, unquote. Quote, the timing of this venture is perfect as recent technological advancements have made it possible to realize Lumi's vision, unquote, declared 7-6 partner Christina Apple George Jokalakis. Quote, Colin and the Lumi team have gathered valuable insights from creators about their concerns and needs, including the desire for control over their work and financial sustainability. We believe Lumi is the perfect solution to a problem that has existed for decades, unquote. I mean, I don't know if this is something that he's apparently been at for a while, or maybe, but as of writing, neither Kaepernick nor Lumi, nor any of its investors have offered any details regarding the exact data sets upon which the tool will be trained. In other words, whether it will generate its image based on general scraping of images uploaded to the internet or a proprietary image library created specifically for the tool's use. Further, there currently exists no publicity, no publicly available quote in smaller quotes proof of concept as to either Lumi's functionality, the exact results it produces, or even its overall existence. Parentheses, given that per the company's official website, they are still looking to hire both software and machine learning engineers. One wonders if the development on the tool has even begun at all. Okay, that is kind of interesting. You're talking about launching it, and you don't even have. Yeah, that's kind of dumb, quite honestly. That's kind of you don't even have your foundation totally set yet, and you're already talking about having this come up. That's kind of dumb. That's the idea of putting the cart before the horse. All right, and there we go with that one. Um, it's something else. It's something else. Good night, Sin. So Colin Kaepernick, the former NFL quarterback who turned activist, he decided to put an AI generated comic book company together to basically help creators get their works out. He's basically through AI is kind of doing like what Comicsgate is trying to do. What Comicsgate's been doing. That's basically what it boils down to. Hold on a sec, guys. I have somebody calling me. I'm gonna put some music on. That's what happened. And I can't put music on now because I can't see my Hold on. All right, sorry about that, guys. At least I figured out somewhat what's happening, but still can't seem to. Because now I can't even get to the AI. Um, the one I found, Lumina AI. Weren't you going to generate a bunch of videos about Canadian Shield with the Dream AI thing? Hmm. I'm just waiting for a moment here. Yeah, I know I'm live. That's not helping things much there. Oh, there we go. Now how do I? Okay, so now that I know that part going on, but how do I? Alrighty then. So wonder if Mike is ever coming back. Well, I'm on now, guys. I'm trying to. The screen here somehow, I guess, enlarged within the thing here, and video ones I found would let you import my images of Canadian Shield. All right. Well, anyways, let me now get ready to move on to the next article here. I'll reshare this. I guess we're gonna. All right. So the other thing that came up here, talk about this here. Alrighty then. So, with that, let's get into this next article here. All right. So, San Diego Comic Con human trafficking sting results in 14 arrests, 10 rescues. Article by Spencer McCauley, published back on this past Friday, the August 2nd. So, let's go ahead and Human Trafficking Task Force San Diego. So, let's take a look at this. So, the citizens of America's finest city can rest a little bit easier tonight, knowing that a human trafficking sting conducted during the recent San Diego Comic Con has resulted in a number of both arrests and rescues. Per a press release, all right, so per a press release issued by the Office of the California Attorney General Rob Bonta, Said operation was conducted by the San Diego Human Trafficking Task Force from July 25th to the 27th, and ultimately resulted in 14 arrests and 10 victims recovered and offered services in quote unquote. Quote, the anti-human trafficking operation targeted sex buyers and focused on recovering potential victims of sex trafficking and arresting traffickers, unquote, the AG's office detailed. Quote, law enforcement personnel worked undercover as sex buyers to identify and contact potential victims of trafficking and arrest their traffickers. As part of the operation, undercover law enforcement personnel also posted undercover advertisements soliciting sex to arrest sex buyers. As a result of the 3-day operation, 14 sex buyers were arrested, 9 adult potential victims of sex trafficking were recovered and offered services, and one 16-year-old juvenile was recovered. Child welfare services and adult and juvenile support service advocates were on scene to provide support as needed. Offering a personal statement on the operation's results, Bonta asserted, quote, unfortunately, sex traffickers capitalize on large-scale events such as Comic-Con to exploit their victims for profit. So now I understand why this happened at a Comic-Con. Because, I get it now. Basically, I think what happens is that the traffickers probably peddle their victims at the con, maybe try to find some lonely, comic anime fan who maybe, wants a little company or whatever, kind of like working a prostitution kind of thing. Is back. You might need to refresh. I did try to refresh. I'm just dealing with it as it goes. I'll probably try to work on it a little bit more after done with the show. I figured at least enough here to at least get me through until till I could at least get to the end of the show here. Maybe. So, anyways, I just hoping this isn't a problem I'm gonna have even did that actually help me out there? Well, that helped. I just clicked the little black box here in the corner, and that kind of reset everything as it was before. So I figured it out, even if it was inadvertent. That refers not to UGK, it's to GKS, not you, Mike. Oh, can you restart this article? My stream froze, and I missed the context. How did it all happen? All right. I guess I could because even I was kind of having trouble focusing because I was trying to figure out how to get my own screen. So maybe I will restart this article then, just so we can get through. Okay, so San Diego Comic-Con human trafficking sting results in 14 arrests and 10 rescues. Article by Spencer McCooley, published August 2nd, 2024, which of course was last Friday. So the citizens of America's finest city can rest a little bit easier tonight, knowing that a human trafficking sting conducted during the recent San Diego Comic-Con has resulted in a number of both arrests and rescues. Per a press release issued by the California Attorney General Rob Bonta. Said operation was conducted by the San Diego Human Trafficking Task Force from July 25th to the 27th, and ultimately resulted in 14 arrests and 10 victims recovered and offered services. And I believe what they mean by offered services, like legal services, counseling services. Tech guy Rick to the rescue. Anyways. So, quote, the anti-human trafficking operation targeted sex buyers and focused on recovering potential victims of sex trafficking and arresting traffickers, unquote, the AG's office detailed. Quote, law enforcement personnel worked undercover as sex buyers to identify and contact potential victims of trafficking and arrest their traffickers. As part of the operation, undercover law enforcement personnel also posted undercover advertisements soliciting sex to arrest sex buyers. Well, they got to be careful with that because that could be possible entrapment right there. But sex to arrest. As a result of the 3-day operation, 14 sex buyers were arrested. 9 adult potential victims of sex trafficking were recovered and offered services, and one 16-year-old juvenile was recovered. Child welfare services and adult and juvenile support service advocates were on scene to provide support as needed, unquote. Offering a personal statement on the operation's results, Bonta asserted, quote, unfortunately, sex trafficking capitalized on large-scale events such as Comic-Con to exploit the victims for profit. Quote, these arrests send a clear message to potential offenders that their criminal behavior will not be tolerated. We are grateful to all our dedicated partners involved in the San Diego Human Trafficking Task Force, whose collaboration has been invaluable. We take great pride in our office's commitment to uplifting vulnerable Californians by offering them assistance and guidance when they need it most, unquote. So, see you guys are. All right, so in that. Likewise, San Diego Sheriff Kelly Martinez affirmed, quote, there is no more insidious crime than human trafficking. The coercion and violence which enslaves people for profit and places them into forced labor or sex is criminal. As the sheriff, I support the efforts of all our justice partners in holding perpetrators accountable. I appreciate the focus that was placed on the recent convention to identify and rescue victims of human trafficking, unquote. Quote, San Diego proudly hosts special events like Comic Con. Highly attended events like these allow us to showcase our growing and beautiful city, unquote, added Christopher Davis, acting special agent in charge of Homeland Security Investigations, San Diego branch. Quote, however, when people use these events as an opportunity to prey upon minors, HSI and our law enforcement partners will find you and bring you before a court of law to face criminal charges. There is no place for alleged predators to operate in our city, and HSI is committed to helping the victims of these crimes. Now, I don't know if that basically means that they try to lure some of the con-goers into the business or what have you. I don't know if that's going on here, but they based on what they're saying here, they're talking more about pimps basically. They're going after pimps, and I would guess that what they do is they have some of these people that have some of these people sit there and basically go up to con goers and offer their services to them in order to I think that's what the general idea is. It's good that these people were caught and they rescued these women. The part I'm not understanding is Comic-Con. Why is it happening there? Well, okay, so they did say it in the article there. So apparently these people take it. Here's and I think I've already mentioned this. Good night, Spoon. So I'll say it one more time here. But I think what it is because these are large events. You may have some attendees. Let's say you have some attendees who are there alone. Maybe they don't have a bunch of friends. Now I know this as being somebody who's of course attended anime conventions before and stuff like that. You do have some people there who maybe at times they do get lonely, and they don't have people to help them. Let's say maybe they don't have a significant other to help alleviate that. So if they don't have anybody close to them to do it, maybe they go out and look for it elsewhere. It's one of those things. It's very tempting to do. It's something like I was saying even last night when we were talking about the aspect of freedom versus the having true freedom and having a strong moral compass. As I said before, it's very easy to justify any behavior, good, bad, or indifferent. People may know that taking advantage of a woman in any way like that is wrong. Okay. But, people could very easily justify certain things. Like if the woman approaches you, well, they approached me. I didn't initiate this. So they could justify, okay, I can just follow because they came to me. I didn't go to them. And then they justify their bad behavior. Yeah, maybe the woman approached them, but they still should have known better. It'd be like feeling so desperate to engage like that you would consider taking advantage of a homeless woman, right? It would be like taking you see a homeless woman, maybe you offer her a chance to stay in a nice hotel for a night, maybe feed her, take her to dinner, what have you, and all she has to do is just surrender herself to you. People could very easily justify the behavior like that. Doesn't make it right, but it's one of those things where, again, as human beings, we could justify any. So, as an answer to your question, the reason why it would happen at Comic-Con is because it's a large enough crowd, and you do have the greater possibility of having more people who would be seeking that kind of companionship, and might be willing to take that risk. That and that's what this task force was banking on. So, so that's what it is. That's basically what it is. Let's that's a fair point. A gay guy tried to pick me up at a convention, and I ended up with a stalker for a year. Probably worse for women. Mm-hmm. Yep. Because even as a guy, if the guy was to physically try something with you, you could probably just knock him on it. You could probably knock some sense into him, and he either gets it and goes away, or you have the police come and arrest him, or you just beat him down until he finally submits. So yeah, but women unfortunately can't, unless it's another woman, of course. But the guy who's coming after him, a woman has very few options to really hurt a guy. Okay, so they can't beat a guy down like a guy can beat a guy down. you know. So, anyways, as of writing, the SDHT, so San Diego Human Trafficking Task Force, has not released any details pertaining to the identities of those arrested, nor the current status of their respective legal proceedings. All right, so there we go with that. That actually would have ended up a bit quicker if, obviously, if I had been able to had figured out the screen issue I was having earlier, but I now have figured it out. So, anyways, so with that, all that being said, of course, we're done with the articles now. So now we're gonna move on to the wrestling wrap up here. So first off, we're gonna go back to last night's Monday Night Raw to talk about what happened on last night in the follow up to last Saturday's SummerSlam. On last night's Raw, Sheamus defeated Ludwig Kaiser in the opening match. Lyria Valkyrie defeated Shayna Baszler by a DQ. The New Day of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods defeated the Authors of Pain of Hakem and Razor, and this was when Odyssey Jones made his debut as part of the New Day. Of course, apparently Kofi Kingston kept this from Xavier. There's some little bit of friction going on with Kofi and Xavier right now, and this just is adding more to that. A-Town Down Under of Austin Theory and Grayson Waller defeated Austin Truth in a battle of two former tag team champions. Damian Priest, in his first match since losing the WWE World Heavyweight title, defeated JD McDonough by DQ as it's now official that Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley's face turn has happened in full view, as it looks like they're pitching a potential feud between Priest and Ripley and their former compatriots in the Judgment Day of Carlito, JD McDonough, and Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. Io Sky with Kairi Sane in her corner defeated Sonya Deville, who had Shayna Baszler, and a feud that's going Damage Control versus Team Forehead. Now, I'm guessing the reason they call them Team Forehead is because they're a group of women whose foreheads are pretty much showing all the time, I guess. That's what I guess people. Yeah. Let's see. Unfortunately, he was larger than me, and I had recently been injured. I would not have been able to fight him off. I was able to avoid being alone with him by making sure other attendees were present. Yeah. Well, ultimately, even if you are in a disadvantaged situation, good night, Spoon, there's always ways, even if you can't sit there and like just beat the what out of them, there are maybe two or three ways, surefire ways that you could at least get to him in a way to where you can get away from him if it did get to that. I'm not going to elaborate on those. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's basically the 2 or 3 same ways women would likely do it. So, anyways, and in the main event of the night, the Wyatt Six of Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis, and Eric Rowan, with Nikki Cross and Uncle Howdy in the corner, defeated American Made of Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. In that, Eric Rowan paid tribute to their to their friend Luke Harper, aka Brody Lee, who passed away back in 2020 during his time in AEW, who was part of the original Wyatt family. So that's all we have on the WWE side of things. Some news coming out. Some of the more recent news of AEW include there's been some speculation that Shane McMahon might be considering going to AEW. There has been some signs that he has met with Tony Khan. Details are still kind of sketchy at this point. Also, Britt Baker is just coming off of a suspension over an incident that happened on the July 17th episode of Dynamite, in which she apparently complained about the time being given to Will Ospreay and MJF at the cost of other talent in the company. MJF's girlfriend, Alicia O'Toole, who was recently hired on as an interviewer, overheard this, leading to a conversation between her and Baker, and eventually between Baker and MJF, which eventually led to Baker's suspension. And also, it has been confirmed that once their contract is up, the Lucha Brothers of Penta El Zero Miedo and Rey Fenix will be leaving AEW. Now, where they'll end up is anybody's guess. Their contracts come up later this year. There's been some talk that WWE may have some interest in them. Yeah, and then on tonight's Power episode on the CW app, on tonight's Power on the CW app. Let me find that. On NWA Power tonight on the CW on the app. The former NWA United States champions, the Immortals, will be taking on the Immortals of Kratos and Odinson will be taking on the Dark City Violence Connection of Joe Black and Murder One. Former NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion Colby Carino takes on Alex Misery. In a match for the JCP NWA JCP Southeastern Tag Team titles, the Stu Crew of Dylan and Zach Stewart, with Joe Kazana in their corner, will be answering the challenge of the Misery Faithful of Gags Again and Salvation. Salvation making a recent appearance on a JCP show. And in the main event, we'll see Zion with Austin Idol in his corner, taking on Mims with Black Cheese in his corner. So that's all we got for the wrestling wrap-up. Now we'll go ahead and move on to, with today being Tuesday, August 6th, 2024. Let's take a look back at this day in each history. So, all right. So, first off, head back 30 years ago, as on this date. Rick isn't showing up as live for me. No, but I'll just take him a sec. We're almost done here, so So, anyways, let's get to it. So, first off, we're going to head back 30 years ago today, as on this date, 30 years ago today. On this date, 30 years ago today, Smoky Mountain Wrestling had its Fire on the Mountain event at Freedom Hall in Johnson City, Tennessee. The main event saw uh, Bob Armstrong team with Road Warrior Hawk and Tracy Smothers to defeat Bruiser Bedlam and the Funk Brothers, Terry and Dory Jr., in a Texas death match. In a match for the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Tag Team Championship in a Morton's Hair versus Fitch's Hair stipulation. Brian Lee and Chris Candido with Tammy Fitch in their corner. Tammy Fitch, who everybody knows as WWE's Sunny. But Candido and Lee defeated the Rock and Roll Express of Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson to become the new Smoky Mountain Tag Team Champions, and also ended up shaving Morton's head. Lance Storm teamed with Tracy Smothers to defeat the Heavenly Bodies of Jimmy Del Rey and Tom Pritchard in a match for the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Championship. The Dirty White Boy, Tony Anthony, retained the title over Dick Slater, and the night opened up with the Gangstas of New Jack and Mustafa Sayed defeating Anthony Michaels and Skyfire. So that happened 30 years ago. And then 1994 is Just So Nice. Oh. Maybe he is being courteous and waiting for you. Oh, that could be. I mean, that would, but that'd also be a bit of a surprise too. I mean, he knows he doesn't have. I mean, I understand that. I understand he wants to probably get a show up. So, but I guess we'll just wait and see. Or maybe he's just having technical problems. So, with that, anyways, 1994 is Just So Nice. We're gonna hit it twice. As also on this date in 1994, as soon as I pull that up. On this date, also in 1994, on this date in 1994 as well, Group TAC's Street Fighter II, the movie, premiered in Japanese theaters on this date back in 1994. On this date in 1994, Group TAC's Street Fighter II, the animated movie, premiered on this date back in 1994. Now, moving ahead to 2014. On this date in 2014, which was 10 years ago today. On this date, 10 years ago today, the fifth issue of Angel and Faith Season 10 went on sale on newsstands from Dark Horse Comics. So on this date, 10 years ago today in 2014, the fifth issue of Angel and Faith Season 10 from Dark Horse went on sale. The story was titled Old Habits. It was written by Victor Gershner, penciled by Derlis Santa Cruz, Andy Owens doing the inking, lettering done by Richard Starkings and Jimmy Betancourt, with Michelle Madsen doing the coloring. So, Angel and Faith Season 10, number 5 went on sale on this date 10 years ago today. And finally, as soon as I find the cursor here, of course. As soon as I find the cursor here. All right. Moving up to 2019, which was just 5 years ago today, on this date, 5 years ago today. Date 5 years ago today. Sony Pictures Home Entertainment's The Swan Princess Kingdom of Music premiered in theaters on this date 5 years ago today. So 5 years ago today, Sony Home Entertainment's The Swan Princess Kingdom of Music premiered on this date in 2019, 5 years ago today. So I thank everybody for being here tonight. We kind of ran a little long due to the fact I was having some technical issues. I eventually did figure it out. But with that, I hope everybody enjoyed the show. Went through a couple good articles tonight. And, of course, we'll be back here with more Niche News tomorrow. Also, if this Friday, I'll have Apex from Apex Comics on, as we'll be looking at comics that went on sale in March 1940. This week, we'll be focusing on comics that came out from Fawcett Comics. We'll be looking at, of course, Wiz Comics Volume 1, Wiz Comics Volume 1, Issue 4, as well as Master Comics Volume 1, Issue 2, and Slam Bang Comics Volume 1, Issue 2. So with that, I thank everybody for being here. Let's see. Peas, okay? With that, I thank everyone for being here, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.